Hey there, my fellow jewelry enthusiasts. Welcome to my channel, Memory Lane by Marie, and I'm Marie. If this is your first time joining me, welcome to my channel. What I do here is subscription bead box unboxings. I do bead hauls, I do product reviews, and hopefully all of that results in some interesting and inspiring finished jewelry updates. What's on the agenda today is a little small bead haul. You guys, if you follow me and if you subscribe to my channel, then you know I do a little series called the Give Me 5 series by Dollar Bead Box. And what my objective is in that series is to try to come before you with 5 presentations from that month's curation of Dollar Bead Box items. However, I do give myself the liberty to go into my Dollar Bead Box stash to help me come up with something, but I do try to stay true to just using what is in that month's curation. This is the one time where I don't want to go outside of my Dollar Bead Box stash to try to create something, because I really want to try to see my Dollar Bead Box as something more than just a stash builder, at least my Dollar Bead Box subscription as more than just a stash builder. Although it is excellent as a stash builder, you get a wonderful curation of findings, bead strands, focals. Sometimes you get findings such as jump rings or head pins or beading wire, and you get all of that for less than $20 a month. If you want to add on, you can get the Dollar Bead Bag, where you get a collection of fire polished gems and an array of colors. But what I did recently is I went on to Dollar Bead Box to buy some items, because there are some things that we had gotten in some of the last few subscriptions that I really liked, and I wouldn't mind having more of to pull out at a later date to use in some of my jewelry creations. Now, as I said in my Give Me 5 series, when I try to present the give you the 5 presentations from the Dollar Bead Box for that month, I don't like to go outside of the Dollar Bead Box to create those items. However, when I create jewelry for other subscriptions that I receive, I will dip into my Dollar Bead Box to supplement what I'm making in those pieces of jewelry. So today, that's what I'm going to look at. I got this box the couple of days ago, and I just had an opportunity to get into it. And these are some of the items that I purchased. And so we're going to go through here together to see what I got, just to add to my stash. So let me get myself organized and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I got a few things here. I got 28 items, and we're gonna start with some focal beads. So I got a 13 by 18 millimeter crystal teardrop focal bead, apple green with gold electroplated edging. And again, remember, this is Dollar Bead Box. All items are $1. Right? And so here's the hole at the top. So it is a vertical. You insert the eye pin vertically. And so that is very cute. I like that. So that's one of them. I got another one, 12 by 16 Chinese oval crystal focal bead, coral red with gunmetal electroplated edging. This is cute, very pretty. I love a pretty focal bead. And so there's the gunmetal. Okay. And then I got another one, 13 millimeter Chinese crystal square focal bead, teal with silver electroplating edging. Also very pretty. I like that. It looks like a kind of ombre effect to the outer edges. Right? It's lighter in the center, and it gets darker as it goes out to the edges. So that's very pretty. And then there's the hole. So there you have it. There are 3 focals. focal beads, Chinese crystals with electroplating on the edges. Next, I got some Chandelier Findings. I love Chandelier Findings. They are very versatile. You can use them in creation of, you know, some very elaborate focals, or as earrings, or as connectors for multi-strand necklaces or bracelets. This has 7 holes, 7 connector locations. You don't always have to use them. If you used every hole, then of course that would put your beads closer together, but you don't always have to use all of the holes, depending on how much empty, you know, negative space you want between each of your bead strands or chain strands or whatever you're using in between to connect. Or again, if you just want to use it as your standard chandelier finding, then there are 7 connecting spaces. And again, each of these things were $1. So for $1, I got 4 pieces. So that gives you 2 pair of earrings or 4 pendants, or however your imagination chooses to use them. Next, I got, so again, these were 25 by 30 millimeter filigree chandelier findings in antique copper. And it was 2. Matter of fact, it was 2 for $1, and I got 4. All right, so then next I got some 1 by 5 millimeter pewter daisy spacers in antique brass, and that's these. So these are kind of tiny. I don't find that I have a lot of antique brass findings, and so when I get an opportunity to get some of the less popular metal finishes, usually everything is silver, some form of silver, whether it is a high shine or not, or it's a gold, whether that's a high shine or not, you know, antique gold or antique silver or a high gloss. Those are the typical ones. But it's rare that you have coppers and antique brasses. And so whenever I get an opportunity to get some findings like that, I try to get them. So those are, again, these are pewter 1 by 5 millimeter pewter daisy spacers in antique brass, and this is 132, and that was $1. Next, I got a 17 millimeter pewter heart and key toggle. You get 1 for $1, and I got 2. And so these are really cute. Toggle clasps are kind of versatile as well. And isn't that cute? You got the key and the heart. And so these are versatile as well, because you don't have to use them as your standard toggle clasp. The opening portion, whatever shape that may be, can be used as part of a dangle on an earring, as part of a pendant on a necklace. And then, as I did in my last finished jewelry update, I used the toggle clasp where you might normally, if you use it unconventionally, where you might normally use the opening part and then have a collection of bars. I use the opening part as part of a pendant, and then I use the bar as the dangle on the extension, or the embellishment on the extension at the back of the necklace. So these are pretty cute. I like them. Again, they were $1 each, and I got 2. Next, I got 10 millimeter Magnesite Mellon beads. I really like those. They were 5 for $1. And so I got 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And I have a couple of the same color, which is good. So if I wanted to make earrings with this time around, I could. Last time I got them, I didn't have doubles on any color. If you remember my Give Me 5 series last time, I used these earrings, or used these beads, excuse me, to create a bracelet. And I still have it here. Let me show you guys. Remember this bracelet? I created this memory wire bracelet using these items. Actually come from the Dollar Bead Box. These are these beads. This tubing is from the Dollar Bead box. And so I created this little single round memory wire bracelet from these beads, and I really like this, and so I bought more. But as I stated, this time, as you can see, there are different color beads. By getting two, I have double, so if I wanted to make some earrings to go with this bracelet, I could, because now I have more than one color of the same, there's more than one color of that bead. All right, next up, you guys, I have, and again, this is the dollar. There were 5 for $1. I got 2, so I have 10 pieces. 15 millimeter shell button in abalone, quantity of 4 for $1. And so this is this. Buttons are really cute in jewelry. You can use them as closures. Now, I'm not big on bead weaving. Not in the standard sense anyway. I'll do some minor or simple weaving. Like I've done a couple of rings. I love the rings using I can't remember what the technique is called, but I've made some rings. I actually watched Gina's tutorial on Opal and Orchid and Opal and Orchid. I've watched her tutorials to make some of those rings with the peyote stitch, I believe. And I really love those. So I was really inspired to actually sit down and watch them. But in general, I don't do bead weaving. But buttons are really nice to use as closures on types of bracelets, whether it's with bead weaving or if you're using leather or some type of nylon string. And so they can be really cute. So I got 4 of these. These are shell buttons in abalone, and there were 4 for $1. Next up, I got 10 to 12 millimeter large hole potato pearls, 2 pieces, and 2 pieces for $1. So I got 6. I love these. Now, I've stated before, I'm not much of a pearl girl because oftentimes the holes in pearls are really tiny, but I like these potato pearls. They're big. I like the luster on them, and the hole is large. So you could even use these with something other than thread. And you can make something that's a little bit more casual, like, you know, that contrast of pearls and leather or pearls and suede, because the bead is larger. And so again, the quantity on this was 2 for $1, and I got 6. And I love those potato pearls. I like the luster. I like the big hole. Next up, you guys, I got 20 by 26 Magnesite Butterfly in turquoise. I got 2, and these are they. Now, I did not think they would be this big when I ordered them, but I think it still works. They're cute. Magnesite, that is the same material as these beads. And so I got 2 of them for $1. 20 by 26. So they're kind of big. I thought they might be kind of small. I thought they might be smaller than that. All right. Next up, you guys, I got some natural black lava beads, 8 millimeter rounds, sold per 15-inch strand, approximately 45 beads on each strand. I love these. I bought 2 strands. I love these in stretch bracelets. They're just a wonderful staple to have in all sizes. This is the 8 millimeter, which is kind of like my favorite size bead, but I've gotten them in 6 millimeter and 4 millimeter, but they're just a nice staple to have in your stash when you're making memory wire. You could use them on memory wire bracelets, but for stretch bracelets, if you were watching my last video update with Give Me 5 series, I paired these with some of those head beads that we had. And so those turned out really well. So again, that was $1 a strand. The strand was 15 inches, approximately 45 beads on a strand, and I got 2 strands. Next up is a 6 by 17 millimeter Czech glass spike in opaque beige, 6 pieces. That would be these beads. I thought these were really cute. Now, the bead or the hole is horizontal, so these would hang down, which makes sense because they're spikes. You see that? They're spikes. And I like the opaque beige. I'm not sure what I'll wear with them or what I'll pair them with, but I like them. As I look at them now, I'm thinking red. Red would be very pretty, but I don't know. I just like having them in my stash as options, right? So again, we got how many of those? 6 pieces for the $1. And these are Czech glass, right? And that's an unusual shape, right? There's only so much you can do with round beads, but when you get unusual shapes like the pumpkin looking ones or these potatoes, you know, they're not just regular round beads. Although I love beads, I love jewelry, so it doesn't matter. You know, there's always an outfit awaiting some accessories. All right, next up is the 10 by 10 millimeter Czech glass table cut turquoise, 3 quantities, and I got 3. So the quantity is 3 for $1. I got 6 pieces, so I got 2. These are very pretty. Now this is the size that I thought the butterflies would be, but these are pretty as well. I love them. You see how it's got the turquoise, and then it's got the like gold wash, and then on the edges it's kind of got like that antique look, like sometimes like, what is it, travertine, I think, that looks like that. Don't quote me, guys, but I like that little finish on the edges. And so 3 of them came for the $1, and I got 2. Ordered 2. So for a total of 6 beads. Those are pretty. I like those. Next up, you guys, I got a 16 by 22 millimeter oval connector in brushed brass, 2 pieces, and I got 4 pieces. I like these. Now, I typically don't use or wear a lot of gold tone jewelry. I like the silvers and the white golds, but I really like these when they came. And I made earrings with these that I really liked, and I wouldn't mind another pair. Let me see. I have the earrings right here, you guys. So if you watch my jewelry update, did you see these earrings? These earrings have these brass connectors. And I also bought more of these Ammonite beads today as well. So these are the brass connectors. There were 2 for the $1, and I got 4 pieces. Next up, you guys, I got 14 millimeter Czech glass flower, pink opal with copper wash. And that was 2 pieces. And so they're in this bag with the 14 millimeter Czech glass flower red with copper wash. So I got the pink with copper wash, and I got the red with copper wash. And the 2 pieces were $1. I love these little flowers, you guys. I've made earrings to go with them. I love those. And red is my favorite color, so I think those are very pretty, just gorgeous. I like the copper, the gold wash, and the copper wash on them. So both of them have copper washes, pink opal with the copper wash, and then red with copper wash. So I think those are just gorgeous. I love those. Now, here we have this bag. They doubled up on us. This is the Czech glass drop pink opal 2 pieces. And so I like these drops with these flowers. Isn't that pretty? I made several earrings like this already with these 2 items in a couple of different colors, and I just think that is so pretty together. And then here is the Czech glass Ammonite turquoise with gold wash, 2 pieces for the $1. And then again, you can see that I use this in those earrings with these connectors, and so I purchased that again because I like them. And maybe I'll make another pair because someone has laid claim to these. I haven't given them away yet, but someone indicated that they like those, and I like them as well. So I may make another pair for myself. All right, and so last but not least, you guys, 16mm pewter textured buttons in antique brass. The quantity, one for $1. So I got 2. And again, buttons are a nice addition to jewelry as closures for bracelets. If you are into bead weaving, they work wonderfully rather. You know, a very intricate kind. I know many of you do that. It's just not my style. I don't even find that I like a lot of woven bead jewelry, but I do like some of the simpler ones, and just bracelets that require interesting closures, not just always the toggle or the lobster, just another interesting way to close off a bracelet. And so I like to have buttons, and even if you get buttons on clothes that, you know, have like really interesting and cute buttons, you can keep those buttons as well and use them in your jewelry making. So there you have it, guys. That is my little bead haul from the dollar bead box. 28 items to add to my stash. You'll see these reappear later in some form or fashion. But again, I like to do, if you tune in, you'll see that I like to try to, with the subscription from Dollar Bead Box, I like to do that Give Me 5 series. And I like to try to limit myself to what comes in that curation. But I do give myself the liberty to dip into my Dollar Bead Box stash. And so this will go into my Dollar Bead Box stash. So then for May's Dollar Bead Box, which I have not, which I've opened and I have it out on my workstation waiting for inspiration to strike. Some of these things may make their way in there. Some of them may not. But these will go into my Dollar Bead Box stash, and they will make an appearance later on some jewelry pieces. So there you have it, guys. These are some of the things that you can get from Dollar Bead Box. You can go back. Again, this is not the subscription. This is an additional purchase that I made from them. 28 items. Everything was $1, or certain quantities were $1. I got more than one quantity or one unit quantity for some of them. But by the time tax and everything was added in and the free shipping, it still was not that much. So there you have it, guys. I hope you will continue to join me. Thank you to my new subscribers. Thank you to my consistent and repeat subscribers, repeat viewers, regular subscribers. And as always, you guys, thank you. Have a great day.